Welcome. I am marketing expert and business coach Melissa Kellogg-Lewick, and this is the Doing Business Like a Woman podcast, where we are exploring and teaching you how women are reinventing the way business is done and money is made to help you create greater impact and financial freedom, one business at a time. Well, hello, my friends. Welcome to the podcast. I'm so glad you're here with me today. It is beginning to be spring here in Colorado where I am, and I absolutely love this time of year. I feel like it just gives me hope. Like hope that there are warm, sunny days ahead. We are actually having an extension put on our patio. So if you hear any construction noises in the background or dogs barking, that could be why. But I'm like in this major anticipation of laying out in the sun on the new patio mode. And so I just love when the weather starts to get warm and we start to see little green shoots of grass. And it's like, finally, we're coming out of the winter. But as is in springtime in Colorado, I'm sure it'll be snowing one of these days soon. So anyway, on with the show. So today I want to share with you a concept that has changed my life. And it changed my life a few years ago, began transforming my life and my business a few years ago when I learned it. And I have been putting it into practice, testing it. And I do talk about this concept, but I don't think I have talked on this podcast about it in the way that I am going to today. That will really make it real for you, help you to see how you can put this work in place in your own business, in your own life, to really help you to create the results that you want. And I think the first part of this is just to begin entertaining the idea that you are responsible and in charge of creating the results that you get in your life. And I'm going to explain that and in your business, and I'm going to explain that in more detail. But I just a little bit about my story and how I came to this work about let's see, I don't know how many years ago, whatever. But back in like 2016, I was at a place where I was ready to begin scaling my business with more focus and intention. My youngest son had started school full time, and I really wanted to see how far I could go with myself and my business, really push my limits, prove to myself that I still had it, right? I had been in like childbearing and rearing mode for quite a few years. And so I was like, okay, I'm ready to get back out there. And before having kids, I had my business. I had a very successful career. And so, I was ready to just prove to myself that I still got it, right? And so I got to work trying a bunch of things in my business and taking lots of action. But I found myself getting some traction as far as scaling my business, but hustling a lot and not making much more money. And I see this happen with women I talk to frequently. So I know I'm not alone in this. And if you've experienced this or are going through it now, you're not alone either. This is part of the process, part of the development of growing a business. But anyway, I felt like I was hustling a lot and making just marginally more money. And I was like, this is not going to work. Like, there has got to be a better way, because there's no more of me to go around with my family obligations and responsibilities as a parent. And, I don't have 80 hours a week to grow my business, and I don't want to have 80 hours a week to grow my business. I want to have a full life. So that's when I learned what I'm going to teach you today, and it changed everything for me. And now this is the work that I do with my clients. And this is what I teach and what I coach my clients on. It's kind of a paradigm, a way of thinking. I mean, yes, I am a marketing and a business coach, and I help my clients to grow their businesses, scale their businesses. But this is the paradigm. This is the lens that I look through as I'm coaching. And so it has really set me free, and it sets my clients free to create the results. We all have the opportunity to create the results that we want, and using this paradigm, compounding those results for the rest of our lives over and over and over again, and creating results faster with more simplicity, more ease. And it all goes back to what I'm going to teach you today, because we can only get so far in hustle, right? Like, yes, I could hustle my way to, a 6-figure, 500K a year, maybe even $1 million business. But, if I only relied on hustle, I would burn myself out. And I know a lot of us have been in that place where we felt that burnout. So this work came to me, found me, when the student is ready, the teacher appears, and boy, was this student ready. Because I was learning through a lot of failure, right? And so, but thankfully I was failing forward and learning. And that does not to say it's not painful. Failure can still be painful, even when we're learning from it, right? But what I learned is that if I want to make more and do it faster, simpler, with more ease and joy, I needed to understand what really creates results. And I really create results. I create my own results, right? And so I learned this from a mentor of mine, that results are created in 3 ways. And these 3 ways are always at work. And this whole paradigm is not revolutionary. Like it will make sense to you, but putting it together and having awareness that this is always at play, I think, is what's revolutionary and what really changed my life. And so it's just bringing that awareness, and also knowing that you can harness this paradigm with what you're already doing, and how the time you're already spending, and create much more scalable, more massive results for yourself and your business. So this is the paradigm that I want to share with you, that your results are always created first in your mind, and then in your heart, and then by your actions. So I'm going to break it down for you. So when I say results are first created in your mind, I'm saying in your thoughts, right? Everything that we have in our lives, our careers, our business, our children, the material possessions that we have, they were all thoughts before they became reality, right? We thought, oh, this is the kind of work I want to do. Oh, I want to start a business. Or it all starts with a thought, right? And what you're thinking and what you believe is possible. And then what you're thinking creates feelings or emotions, creates energy, because emotions and feelings are vibrations in our body, right? And that's like energy in our body. And so that energy or sensation is what drives the actions that you take. And then the actions that you take create the results that you get, right? So I'm going to give this to you an example. It's kind of a dramatic example, but it illustrates it well. So let's consider that you are hiking in the forest by yourself. It's thick, and it's a thick forest. You're on a trail. It's quiet. You're enjoying the scenery. It's a beautiful day, and you're just walking along, hiking along, enjoying your hike, minding your own business, right? Until you hear crackling twigs in the forest and some rustling. And if you've ever been on a hike and had this happen, you can understand that that is like the situation we're in, right? We're on a hike and we're in the forest and we hear rustling and crackling twigs in the dense forest and we can't quite see what it is. So we have a thought, right? And for most of us, the first thought is it's a bear, right? There's a bear. And so when you have that thought, it creates a vibration, feelings in your body, right? Like you can feel your heartbeat quicken, your breathing might speed up. You can feel like that, you feel nervous or anxious or scared. You feel that adrenaline like shooting through your body. Maybe it feels like lightning bolts in your body to your extremities. So you're having lots of feelings in your body, right? And so then that leads to your actions. So what do you do? And for most of us, we're like looking around, we're listening for further movement in the forest. We're thinking like, is this a big bear, a little bear? What's happening? We look maybe to where the sound was coming from or where we think it's coming from to see what we can see. And maybe we are moving in the opposite direction, like we're walking or even running away from that sound, right? So that's kind of how this model, this paradigm works, right? So, and then the result we create for ourselves is that we, vacate the area. We act as if there's a bear and we leave. So in this story, notice that we never actually saw what made the noises. We had a thought that it's a bear, but we don't know for sure, right? We have no idea. It could have actually been a chipmunk. And I don't know if you've ever had that happen where you're like hearing the rustling in the forest and you're thinking it's a bear or something that's going to kill you. And then you see the little chipmunk run across the trail and you're like, oh, how cute. So in this instance, we also had the option to think, oh, I bet that's a chipmunk, right? And so if we had that thought instead, our feelings, the energy that was in our body and our actions would have been totally different, unless you're scared of chipmunks, of course. But for most of us, we would not run away from a chipmunk. We would just continue on with our hike. So it gives you kind of an example of how this paradigm works. Now, how does this apply or relate to our businesses? I'm going to explain that to you. So, for example, in this scenario, the situation that we're in is marketing. So think about your marketing, and I want you to think about your predominant thought about yourself and your ability to market your business. So for many women that I hear from, that I talk to, our predominant thoughts, and even myself from time to time, right? I love marketing, but from time to time, I also have thoughts like, this is really hard. I'm not good at it. I don't know what to say. I have nothing important to say. Like, think about what is your most predominant thought. And then, so if you think you're bad at marketing or that you have nothing to say, or you're just don't feel like you're very proficient at creating great marketing, or it's not really effective for you or whatever, I want you to think about what kind of feelings does that create? How does that make you feel, right? What energy is that creating in your body? And I know for me, when I'm thinking that I have nothing to say, or I don't know what to say, or marketing feels hard, it makes me feel discouraged or inadequate, right? So from there, how am I showing up in my marketing, right? And for so many people that I speak to and work with, they end up avoiding marketing, right? If we're feeling like we're bad at it or we're discouraged, we just avoid it. We procrastinate. It takes forever to get anything done. Or Maybe we're inconsistent, or we just, do something fast and put it out there so we can get away from it as soon as possible. And so then ask yourself, if you're showing up with that kind of energy, then what are the results that you're creating? And probably not the best. It could be better, right? So what I like to teach and coach my clients on is just having a simple shift. And this is what we work on all the time. And I work on it too with my coach. This is lifelong work. And so it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong, but what it is having this awareness can just totally open up a whole new world for you and creating a totally different result for yourself and your business. And so it all starts with a simple shift. I like to start with shifting my energy, or the spirit with which I'm marketing in this instance, in this example. So think about how you want to feel about your marketing. How would you love to feel? And so for me, like when I think about how I really want to feel when I'm marketing, is I want to feel like I'm having a contribution. I want to feel like I'm having an impact, like I'm making a difference, I'm serving and loving. And so that is the spirit that I want to come to my marketing with, right? And so if I'm feeling that way, that I'm having an impact, making a change and impacting women's lives and their businesses and their financial futures, if I think about that, then how am I going to show up for my marketing, right? I'm going to be thinking completely differently about the work that I'm doing and about that I'm showing up. And so what I also like to talk about is believing in your value. Like, what if you believed, and a belief is simply a thought you think over and over, right? So what if you believed in your value, in the immense value, and you felt valuable, right? How would you be showing up to your marketing? What would you be doing? What if you believed that you were an answer to someone's prayer? And I love that thought to consider, that if you actually believed you were an answer to someone's prayer, how would you be showing up? So maybe just listening to this, you notice some feelings or some energy coming up as you're thinking about how valuable that your service that you provide is to your best fit clients, and believing that you are an answer to someone's prayer, like what that might create inside of you. You can kind of feel that shift. And that is a shift that I myself work on achieving every day, each morning, just about every morning. I can't say 100% of the time, but the majority of mornings I spend time actually working on my thinking and the feeling that I want to go into my day with, right? Because we can't change the circumstances, the situations that we often are in and that are going on around us. But what we can always change is how we think about it and how we feel about it, right? And how we show up in our lives. And so that is the paradigm that has created a massive shift for me and a massive transformation in my life and in my business. And one thing I know for sure is that I can always tell in myself and in others, my clients, their level of belief in themselves, our level of belief in ourselves, and our value by the actions that we're taking, right? So oftentimes if I find myself or notice this in clients that they're, tinkering with their business or doing a lot of busy work that, avoiding something that they really want to be doing, then we always go back to what's going on in your thoughts, right? What are you thinking? And if you're not getting the results in your business, always go back to the thoughts and what you're thinking. And so that's what I have for you today, my friends. Now, I want to give you some concrete next steps, right? So you're thinking, wow, this is a lot, and it is. And I just want to invite you as your first step in this work, or in even continuing this work, because it bears as a good reminder, is to just practice awareness. You don't have to make any big major changes or go trying to change all your thoughts or whatever. Just start to have awareness of your thinking. We as humans have the prefrontal cortex, the unique part of our brain that allows us to kind of be watchers of ourselves. So you can watch your brain thinking, and it's fascinating. So, and notice, just have some noticing of what you're thinking and the energy, the feelings that it creates inside of you. And so, what helps me to create awareness, my number one tool for that is journaling, is just downloading, pouring my thoughts out onto a page. And if you want to do it around a specific subject, like if you want to continue this work around marketing, you can write down all of your thoughts just to make a list of everything that you think about yourself as a successful marketer. And when you put all of that in black and white on the page and look at it, then you can have some understanding maybe of why you're not getting results from your marketing that you would like to. So yeah, just start with the awareness. That would be the first step. The second step is then to ask yourself, what is the feeling I want to have? How do I want to be feeling about my marketing? And we talked about that a little bit. And just think, like, if you want to be feeling like motivated or determined, or, there's a lot of options there. So just think about, how do I want to be feeling about myself as a marketer? I want to be feeling confident. Okay. So if I want to be in confident energy, right, then if I were in confident energy, what would I be doing? If I was 100% confident, what are the actions I would be taking? Right. And so then you can even just list those things out. And then you can ask yourself and start examining, what is an attainable, accessible thought to me that gives me that feeling of confidence about my marketing, right? So the thought might be something around, I have plenty of value to offer, or not even plenty. I have value to offer. I have something to say. I have value that will help one person, or, those are some thoughts that I use oftentimes around my marketing and communication. And then this is really great work to be doing with a coach. And this is the work that I do with my clients. So if you are interested in exploring one-on-one coaching, and this is the kind of coaching that I do, that I work with my clients on, and we carry this through into the actual execution and actions to create those massive results. But we always start with the thinking and the feeling. So that's what I have for you today. And so take it, consider it, start to have that awareness. And even just having the awareness, you're going to see a shift. And it will filter all the way down to the results that you get. And if you want support, please reach out to me. I'm here for you. There's always a link to schedule a consult with me in the show notes. And I look forward to speaking with you soon. Have a great week. Bye. If you like this podcast, then you have got to sign up for my free on-demand video training, Grow Your Sales Doing What You Love, where I teach you in depth my simple process that you can implement right away to harness your mindset and your skills to grow your sales to whatever level you want. So go grab that now. The link is in the show notes, and I'll see you next time.